There are those who consider him a savior for what they perceive ails this nation. Also those who believe the seventh seal has indeed been opened, the trumpets have been sounded, and the wrath of God is about to descend upon earth. There is, of course, plenty of middle ground to work from here. Donald Trump is the presumptive Republican presidential nominee. And what of those hardcore Republicans who are already stating they will cross the streams and allow Gozer the Gozerian, otherwise known as Hillary Clinton, to rule this country? This is true uncharted territory, where the nature of republicanism is being rewritten before our very eyes. Not that we didn't see it coming. Those who will see it as the true end of days, others who would smack down such talk and jump on board with the horsemen. And today's lightning round spectacular. Who has more ammunition going against their opponent in the general election? Does Donald Trump have more dirt to dish on Hillary Clinton? Or does the Democrat have more goods to throw against her likely Republican challenger? Start lining up right now. 1-877-Newsmax with your take. You are not allowed to mention the Illuminati, Freemasons, a New World Order, or any other such nonsense. We demand the use of working brain cells. I'm Ed Berliner. This is The Hardline for Wednesday, May 4th, 2016.
We gave it everything we've got, but the voters chose another path. And so, with a heavy heart, but with boundless optimism for the long-term future of our nation, we are suspending our campaign.
Just so you understand, Ted Cruz, I don't know if he likes me or if he doesn't like me, but he is one hell of a competitor. He is a tough, smart guy. And he has got an amazing future. He's got an amazing future. So I want to congratulate Ted.
We have come to what many believed and hoped was the inevitable. Donald Trump has dropped his mighty marketing and promissory hammer on all takers. Ted Cruz and John Kasich have been brought to heel, and the time has come for everyone, every single Republican, and those who would rather eat ground glass than vote for a Clinton, to gather their forces, make the Cleveland Convention nothing more than a formality, and use every imaginable plan and plot to defeat the dastardly Democrat. But we are not the show that mindlessly lines up behind an individual or an issue without asking questions that will placate and agitate everybody. So we begin by quoting the words of former U.S. Senator and the eventual President of the United States, Bluto Blutarski, who, according to close friends and those who feared him, reportedly stated, quote, "Over? Did you say over? Nothing is over until we decide it is." And there are people out there, Republicans, who have already gone public intimating those very words. With all due respect, then, to the former Senator, President, and his lovely First Lady, Mandy Pepperidge, let's get to work. Beginning with senior contributor at the Federalist, D.C. McAllister, joined by veteran political campaign strategist and ardent Trump supporter, Salvatore La Mastra. I thank you both for joining us. Let's get to work. D.C., I'm going to start with you. Ted Cruz out. John Kasich out. Everybody else is completely gone at this point. Yet today we are bombarded by individuals from the Republican Party, people who've been there a long time, who said, we will not vote for Donald Trump. We will cross those streams. We will vote for Hillary Clinton. People are calling this treason when it comes to the Republican Party, D.C. Isn't this going too far? There are people out there who will say, you have got to unify this party and you have got to get behind Donald Trump.
Well, I agree that we need to unify the party, but I'm not surprised by establishment types acting this way. They have been from the very beginning. As soon as Donald Trump started rising in the polls, they were like, never Trump. So they've been pretty consistent in their opposition to him. I just wonder how much that will hold up after a general election. Over the next few months, as we get closer and closer to November, and we really see Hillary in opposition to Trump, and see those differences line up in the Republican Party as opposed to the Democratic Party? Are they really going to stick to that? Or are they going to realize that the leftist agenda and the radical agenda that's been hammered against us for 8 years is really a major problem, and they want to fight against it? They may still hold that Donald Trump is too much of a danger and Hillary Clinton's a better roll of the dice, but I bet that'll change.
But here's the question for a real short answer, though. You just said everything. The leftist agenda, the liberal agenda. People have been railing against this now for 8 Barack Obama years. How could anybody then, and I'm going to put it right down the line right now, D.C., how could any Republican then even think it would tear their teeth out to be able to say that we would then vote for a Democrat?
I think it's two things. I think it's emotion. They hate Donald Trump that much on a personal level because he's been obnoxious during this primary season. Number two, it's also, I think they are very concerned about the populism that has given rise to Donald Trump. They see it as a greater danger than the Marxism, the cultural Marxism and the leftism that we have from the Democratic Party. So they just think it's more dangerous and they want to put a stop to it.
All right, Sal, let me bring you into this. No, go ahead, finish up. Go ahead, DC, finish.
They also want to save the GOP. I think there's also a core of them that just want to hold the party together, and they're putting party first.
Okay. Sal, let me come to you. The cover of the Daily News today reads, Republican Party 1854 to 2016. Dearly beloved, we're gathered here today to mourn the GOP, a once great political party killed by epidemic of Trump. Look, you're a Trump supporter. We get it. He is now the presumptive nominee. But Sal, you've got to be honest. There are people in this country who absolutely seethingly hate Donald Trump for so many reasons. Let's make a positive spin on this now from your side. How then does Donald Trump do what he has said that he would do over and over again, and that is bring this party together and make it a winner in November?
I think he's already done that. He's already brought.
He has no. Wait a minute. No, I'm going to stop you right there, Sal. Sorry, he has not done it. This party is fractured at this point. You've got to admit that, because the mere fact there are people speaking out today saying that they will vote, important people saying that they will vote for the Democrats, shows that there is a split. So please, let's take it from there. What he has to do then to bring this party together.
I'll give you the party split, but the party is split. It's the people versus the establishment. That's the split. The Republican Party, the people, they are united behind Donald Trump, and they will continue to. The Ted Cruz supporters, most of them will come over. The independents, they will unite behind Donald Trump. I'm not saying the elite are going to. They have had their power for far too long. They are mad for Donald Trump taking it away with his message. They are mad that they won't be able to control the president of the United States anymore. They won't be able to play their games in Congress to make the president sign or not sign a bill that goes through. That's the shift you're seeing. That's the split. It's the split between the people and the establishment.
But you're saying it's just the establishment, though, who hates Donald Trump? Come on, Sal. I know a lot of people out there who are casual nickel and dime lunch bucket type of people today who say they won't vote for him. There are people who say they will. But come on, Sal, it can't just be just the establishment.
I'll give you a little bit of people who are like that, maybe some independents, some Democrats out there. But I believe the Republican Party, when faced with a presidency of Hillary Clinton, will unite behind Donald Trump, because he is the man who has stood up here for almost a year now, saying what he believes, no matter how much the media, no matter how much the Democrats, no matter how much the Republican elites, the talking heads in the media have come down against him. He has stuck with his message time and time again, and he has not let anyone change his mind, because this is what he believes. And I believe the people will see that, and they will begin to unite behind him.
I'm going to give you that. He has stuck to his message. You are exactly right. Now, a few minutes we have left. Let's deal with something else here. The electoral map. And this is thanks to people like Larry Sabato, the people who know this sort of thing. They are looking at the Electoral College map today, and they are showing that it is absolutely, at this moment, let's be clear, at this moment, absolutely impossible for Donald Trump to win the general election when it goes to the Electoral College. D.C., I come to you first. This is something serious. Doesn't make a difference if you love, hate, loathe Donald Trump, whatever. You got to get behind this right now. Isn't this something that we're going to hear a lot more about, and we should hear more about? Because this is where the focus has got to be. Donald Trump gets crushed in the Electoral College at this moment.
Well, at this moment, in the middle of a primary that's been hostile, I really don't take much about polls and these kind of things at this stage. To say impossible or inevitable or he can't win at this stage, I think it doesn't bear out in history. Things change very quickly in elections. And after a few months with them fighting between Hillary Clinton and Trump, things might change. And so I'm just not willing to jump on that there's an impossibility for him to win in the Electoral College. That may be true. It may not be true. A lot of things change overnight in politics.
But here's the thing, too. According to the Larry Sabato study, and again, Sabato's very good as a political forecaster, it says if Clinton wins Florida and carries the 19 states plus D.C. that have voted for the Democratic presidential nominee in each of the last 6 elections, this is also quoting from the Washington Post, she will be the 45th president. It is that simple. So, okay, Sal, I'm going to throw it now to you. Again, This is an issue that has to be talked about. How and what does Donald Trump have to do right now to win these people? Because we've got Democrats who won't vote for him, independents who won't vote for him. So doesn't he have to say something in his message that will pull these people in?
Of course, messaging has to change, but I agree with DC. I mean, none of these things can be predicted at this point in time when it comes to the general election. And going back and looking at the past 6 elections, I mean, what in the world has this election been like, but like nothing before? So we can't really compare it to past elections. Donald Trump going in, now that he's the nominee, of course, he has to change his message a little bit, but sticking to what he has been saying is what's going to get him the presidency. I mean, people are tired of the status quo. They're tired of politicians. The American people have a very short-term memory when it comes to politicians. And just bringing up Hillary Clinton's past, I think, is going to even the playing field. I mean, there are books written about the corruption within the Clintons.
You are exactly right. Hey, look, you are exactly right. We're going to talk about that momentarily after the break in our lightning round question. But let me ask you both one thing very finally. It's a yes or no question. I'm sorry. D.C. McAllister, do you have confidence that Donald Trump can pull it together and the Republicans can pull it together and defeat Hillary Clinton in November as we stand here today?
Yes, I hope so.
Okay. Okay. You went for a hope so that. Sal, same question. Yes or no? You can add a few words if you'd like.
110%. I think you're going to see a huge shift going into this election. That's
exactly what the Republicans want to hear and what we'll talk about. Sal, D.C., thanks so much for joining us. All right, now I mentioned the lightning round question we're going to get to. Here it is, 1-877-Newsmax. Simple question. Who has more ammunition? You heard Sal talk about some of the things that Hillary Clinton has in her past. Who's got more ammunition, more dirt to throw on the presumptive opponent come the actual November election? Hillary Clinton against Donald Trump or Donald against Hillary? Now, be specific, people. Be intelligent about this. Get to the point. 1-877-Newsmax. Your calls and comments next on the Hardline. Plus, we'll, of course, focus on what comes from here and those people who say they will. Do you actually believe Republicans would cross the streams? Next on the Hardline.